Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Gazelle Stakes and the Wood Memorial at Aqueduct. And I'm a bit sick. I can feel the sweat coming down my forehead, so I don't want to use a cam today. The announcements might be a bit abbreviated for each race. In any case, let's start off with the Gazelle Stakes, and I'll talk about my top four fillies in this race. First, I want to talk about Paradise, the winner of the Busher Stakes, and the runner-up, Nikon. You see here, Paradise won that race by 3 3/4 of a length over Nikon. And we have the clip up here. We can spot Paradise on the outside, and Nikon is all the way back and forth. At first, it doesn't feel like Nikon is even going to finish in the top three, because she's way back there, and the top three are way ahead. But slowly she grinds her way into the third place spot, and you think, okay, she's going to finish in the trifecta, but there's no way she's going to get second, as Paradise takes over the lead, and she draws clear. Somehow, some way, Nikon gets second at the end, and it made me think maybe she wants more distance. So I looked up Nikon's pedigree, and this is a fantastic pedigree for going long. First of all, there's Nyquist, the Kentucky Derby winner. Then you have Awesome Again, the Breeders' Cup Classic winner. And you have Personal Instant, the legendary Personal Instant who went, 16 for 16, Breeders' Cup Distaff champion. I'm going to take a chance on Nikon improving at the distance. She has never gone 9 furlongs, and I think she will improve. And yes, part of the reason I'm picking her is because of the pedigree. That doesn't always mean the horse is good enough, but I'll take a chance here. Let's talk about a couple more fillies. I want to take a look at Always a Runner and her maiden win at Tampa Bay Downs back on February 6th. We have the clip up here. And she was probably beating nothing in this race, but I just like the way that she did it. You can see that she's winning easily under her own power. And the ears are up. The jockey is just handwriting her. And she wins as easily as possible. And she's just strolling home at this point. She has a lot more in the tank. And the fact that Chad Brown thinks highly enough of her to enter this filly in the Gazelle off that maiden win makes me think that she's ready to fire. I don't know how good she is exactly, but I want to put her in my top four because it's Chad Brown and she won her maiden easily, so there's probably a lot of talent there. We go down to number 6, Pashmina, who was third in the Sunland Park Oaks. And she lost to a good Baffert filly in that race. I don't want to be too hard on it. And two back, she was fourth in the Silver Bullet Day Stakes at Fairgrounds. Pashmina has a chance in this race. I prefer her underneath. I'll put her in my top four for the Gazelle Stakes. Nikon is my top choice in the Gazelle Stakes. And it's partially because of her pedigree. But even if I didn't see that she was connected to Personal Ensign or My Flag, I could just tell by how she runs in the Busher Stakes that she wants more distance. At a mile 1/8, I'll take a chance on her improving at the distance and maybe being even with Paradise. We'll see. Paradise is obviously a win contender as well, and we'll say Always a Runner is maybe an underneath option. She lacks experience, of course, and also Pashmina, we'll say she's an underneath option as well. Nikon, my top choice for the Gazelle Stakes. Let's move on to the Wood Memorial. Alright, most of the horses in the Wood Memorial are not that great, and I don't have the energy to talk about each one of them, so I apologize about that. We are going to talk about Napoleon Solo, who was the 6.5 length winner of the Champagne Stakes, and I talked about this before. I had exacta in that race, and then he came back on February 28th in the Fountain of Youth Stakes, and he pressed the pace before fading to 5th by 11 lengths, but he was facing good horses, Commandment, Chief Wallaby, Solitude Dude, and we have the clip up here. Napoleon Solo, about 3 wide right now, the number 7 Saddlecloth, and he's trying to move into the lead, but he just doesn't have it. And you see Chief Wallaby and Commandment closing in. Napoleon Solo is going to fade right now, and he's sort of going to blow the turn a bit here. He doesn't corner well at all. You see he's going wide right now, and now he's shortening stride, and there's Bravaro to his inside. So Bravaro and Napoleon Solo are going to duke it out for fourth in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. And Bravaro barely gets fourth over a tired Napoleon Solo. But again, Napoleon Solo was arguably facing the best horses. And now he's facing the Wood Memorial Field. And maybe this is a step down in class. I don't like taking this type of horse who was a star as a 2-year-old and came back with a bad race as a 3-year-old, because it makes me feel like maybe he didn't progress. I could forgive the first start though, because he was facing good horses, and he does get the rail in this spot. I'm going to take him on top, but I don't know how eager I am to bet this race. Alright, we're down to number 13, Iron Honor, and this is the horse I would have chosen had he drawn a better post. He was the one-length winner of the Gotham Stakes, but he was well clear, or the top two were well clear of the rest of the field. As you can see here, it was just Crown the Buckeye and Iron Honor in the stretch run. And it turns out Crown the Buckeye is a pretty good miler. And Iron Honor does take a while to get by him, but that's fine. They were well clear of the rest of the field. And Iron Honor, I don't think he'll have any problem going the distance. He looks like he can go a mile 1/8, mile 1/4. It's not a problem to me, but I will say that the post position is brutal, and also the pace scenario is brutal as well. This is a horse who likes to sit off the leader, and there's a number of pace setters in this race. How will he handle that? Can he sit a little farther back, maybe as a stalker? I don't know. I will put him in second because I like his talent, and again, if he had a better post, I'd put him in first. He is a win contender, of course, but he needs to find a way to work out a trip from post 13. Let's talk about number 7, Albus, who I talked about last week. He had an impressive maiden win at Tampa Bay Downs, and he won that race by 6 3/4 of a length. We're going to watch it again. Just by watching him run, I feel like he could be a good horse. You see that he's drawing clear of the field. I know he wasn't facing anything in this race. It was Tampa Bay Downs, but I still like the way he did it. And now he's in the Wood Memorial, which is a better spot than the Florida Derby. And maybe he can make some noise in this race. I don't know if he can win, but maybe he could finish underneath. Albus is an underneath option in the Wood Memorial. Now let's talk about one more horse. We round out the top 4 with Steele, who broke his maiden as a closer at Gulfstream Park, so he could take advantage of the pace in this race. Of course, we had the clip of his maiden win right up here. To be honest, Steele did get a setup in this race. 23.66, 46.45. He's the one on the outside. The jockey's wearing black. The horse is slightly gray. He does what it takes to win, though. And like I said, he could take advantage of the pace scenario in this race. So I'm going to put Steele underneath. And that's my top 4 for this race. Napoleon Solo is my top choice in the Wood Memorial. He's my reluctant top choice because he did come back with a so-so race in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. He was facing good horses. Maybe he'll improve. Iron Honor, he could overcome post 13. We'll see. I just don't want to put him on top knowing he's going to have to overcome that post and overcome the pace scenario as a presser. But I do think there's a chance he could overcome all that and still win the race. So I think it'll come down to Napoleon Solo and Iron Honor at the end. And we'll say that Albus is an underneath option. And we'll say that Steele could take advantage of the pace and hit the board at double-digit odds in the Wood Memorial. Alright, Napoleon Solo, my top choice. Again, though, I'm not sure if I'm going to bet this race. I just wanted to cover it. Thanks for watching my video on the Gazelle and Wood Memorial. I'll try to be back soon.